A new update has arrived for the game Kingshot, friends. There was an update related to this last month as well. I couldn't make a video about it, but thinking that this is truly of vital importance, we now need to examine this new update in detail. Well, I will now explain in detail with all my experience what you need to do and how this update will affect kingdoms, transfers, and the process in the states. Towards the end and later parts of the video, I have a strategy that I personally apply. This puts me incredibly far ahead of all other players. I think it really brings free-to-play and low-spender players to a superior level compared to those who spend money. That is why I recommend you watch the entire video. I will pin the link to this update and the link to a site I will give you shortly in the comments. You can also go in and examine them in detail yourselves. Dear Chiefs, it says 0701. Well, in the coming weeks, or rather at the beginning of next month, friends, this update will be active. And when was the transfer coming next month? It's coming on the 19th. So in a month, on the 19th, on July 19th, it will arrive. This update will also be valid in the first week of July. Now they have merged kingdoms 1 through 25 with kingdoms 26 through 115. 236, 309 with the kingdoms here, these with these and these with these. So the final result is exactly like this. Events in Kingdom 1 and 115 will arrive at the same time. The gen heroes will be the same. The raw gold furnace, meaning the city hall level, will be the same. Likewise, 236 and 417 will have the same gene heroes. They will have the same pure gold level. 588 and 758 will be the same. And these will be your neighboring kingdoms, neighboring states. So when you want to transfer somewhere, you will be able to transfer between 1 and 115. You will be able to transfer between 236 and 417. You will be able to transfer within this group range, and you will be able to transfer within this group range. Of course, as the gens progress and new gold furnace levels arrive, the game will definitely make regular changes here every 2 or 3 months. Now, let me critique and discuss the pros and cons of this system based on my own opinion. By the way, 57% of you watching this video are not subscribed to my channel. I would be very happy if you subscribed and supported me. Together, we have reached 40,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much. By the way, since I am a bit sick, my voice and throat might sound bad, so I apologize to you all. Now, friends, merging servers 1 through 115 was truly incredibly good for the friends on the first server, especially the friends on the first 50. The first 30 servers were stuck in the lower states. The people who started the game there were actually playing a version like the beta version of the game, because they started the game when it first launched, and there are very few people there. For instance, while some states have 5 or 10 active alliances, others only have 1 or sometimes 2, and that really ruins the gaming experience for these people. Bak by Daza. So it was really good for them. They will now be able to move their accounts a bit higher up, because if we are playing a game, we want there to be active players, strong players, people we can communicate and socialize with. With this update the game made, the players below have been saved from this. Likewise, the friends here will also be able to move up. I think it was really good that they did this, and the game will now put a stop to things at some point for all the friends in these kingdoms. The genes will now arrive at the same time as well. I mean, if there is a Generation 6 somewhere, there has to be a Generation 6 elsewhere. If there are Generation 4 heroes in one place, there must be Generation 4 heroes on the other side. Because the game needs to balance this somehow, because these states they match will face off in server versus server, in Tyrant Wars, and they will come face to face in many encounters. That is why they need to maintain the balance of power here. Anyway, the game has already announced that the groups will be like this. My request to you is this. The game already announces the transfer time on its Facebook page, in the game's communities, or by sending us messages in the game. My request to you is this. Transfers already come to Kingshot about every 2 months or so. Before it arrives, about a month prior, there are some sites like this. For example, this site, I definitely do not have any sponsorships. I also have no collaborations whatsoever with the sites shown here, friends. Uh, for example, I researched and found this site on the internet. Here, I click on the transfer that says the transfer will come on July 19th. They have correctly predicted all the previous transfers and estimated them a month in advance. I go here, I click here, and they have shared the groups here. With 1 month left before the transfer arrives, I can see the transfer groups coming to the Kingshot game. And thanks to this, friends, I can stock up on my tickets. I can see in advance which kingdoms the transfers will go to and make my plans and schedules with my friends. I can reach out to people in those kingdoms, communicate with them beforehand, and reserve a spot for myself to transfer. But of course, I think the group shown here will most likely change because this update arrived today. Since this site's update was likely made a few days ago, they will have to update this. So the transfers you see here right now might not be current. They will have to change this. Since the site is active, they will likely update it within a few days. As I said, I have no partnership with the site, but if you want to take a look or are curious about which site it is, I will add both sites side by side in the comments below. You can easily check them yourself from there. So, why is kingdom transfer so important? Why do people set up websites a month in advance? They share groups here and do things. Friends, if you want to enjoy the game, you have to find the right state and the right kingdom for your own playstyle. Some go to servers with weaker players and become strong there relative to their own powers. They are actually weak players, but because that state is full of empty weak players, they become a bit stronger there. And because they feel powerful there, they enjoy the game much more. Some go to such weak states and win events like the Strongest Kingdom, Governor Activity, or Officer Project and become the owner of all the rewards. Others don't like that. They prefer going to more active servers or kingdoms, wanting to be part of a team, working together with communication and taking part in intense battles. That is entirely your decision. I cannot tell you to go to a weak server or a strong one. This is a situation that depends on the player's own gaming preference. Now, I will explain the transfer tactic I personally use in this game and others, and this might be a completely selfish move. Let me explain this to you. Whether you use it or not is entirely up to you, friends. Now, there is something I came up with and talk about called forward transferring in the game. It is basically like this. For example, I am on server 1. When I say forward transferring, I mean keeping this account and wanting to take it to the 600s. I want to take it to the 500 servers. Or, for example, let's say one of our friends is playing in Kingdom 250. To the friend playing on this 250th server, I always say this. My friend, do not stay on the 250th server. Try to move up to the 400th server, the 300th server, or even higher, like the 600th or 700th. Because in the game, there is always the situation. Let's say the game started you off on the 250th server on your very first day. There's a game. The game starts you here. Man, you have been playing for 30 days or 100 days. Of course, as you play through these processes for 100 days, new servers are constantly opening in the game, and Kingdom Transfer is added. After Kingdom Transfer is added, a transfer group arrives. Let's give an example. Let's quickly take a look at the transfer groups from this site. For example, it says here, Group 3 will go from 236 to 758. Let me show you right away. A player starting at 236, for example, is on day 150 of the game, but a player in the 700s, guys, let's even say they went to 600. The friend here has played for less than half the time, and they are both in roughly the same generation. On one side, the first roulette for the Generation 4 or Generation 5 hero has arrived for the top side. But the person moving up from server 250 has already spun this hero's roulette 5 times and maxed them out. And when they move up, this hero's roulette comes to them 5 more times. So they have already maxed out this hero beforehand if they want to. Because they transferred, it provides an incredible advantage. The roulette comes up 5 times, and since that hero is already maxed out for them, they don't have to spend any diamonds at all. While people on that server are spending their diamonds on the roulette, this friend of ours can spend their diamonds on VIP. By going to the shop and buying pet upgrade stones or blue stones, they can go and upgrade their pets with these stones. But thanks to that, the players on that server only have to spin the roulette, because that hero is new to that server. That is the first advantage, the diamond advantage. And believe me, this gives you an advantage of over 1 million to 1.5 million diamonds. If you transfer forward without spending any money on the game, you will have this many diamonds left in your pocket and your bag.
I am talking about the second advantage. In the scenario where you go forward, let's say you went 2 months ahead, meaning you transferred to a server that opened 2 months later than yours.
Friends, in 2 months, 60 days, you can do the bear hunt a total of 30 times. If you get 10 blacksmith hammers every day from the bear hunt, calculate it yourself. Normally, if you tried to buy this as a package here, it would be incredibly expensive. Or, for example, in 60 days, the Infinity event comes around 4 times, friends. If you rank here, you can get a lot of charm materials and island pieces. You can participate in the castle siege twice. You can do the Viking Revenge 6 or 7 times. You can get a lot of chief equipment materials here. The Strongest Kingdom event comes twice consistently. You can get the daily rewards and daily items here, and special events come. You can get the special events. So by doing nothing but using the jump tactic I mentioned to go to newer servers, since you move to a server that opens later, you end up storing diamonds, speed ups, and everything you can keep in your bag. And when you go up, people will have to buy packs just to catch up with you. So a free-to-play player, when transferring to a state 2 months ahead, essentially gets $1,000 to $1,500 worth of packs for free. I didn't want to explain it in a very complicated way, but that is the basic logic. But while doing this, definitely pay attention to this. The game won't let you constantly transfer forward anyway. There is a transfer limit in the game, a 120-day limit, a 150-day limit, and a 180-day limit. So the game tells you, hey, stop, you can only go to a server that opened at most 120 days after yours. Then when the new City Hall level arrives, when Tier 5 arrives, it allows 150 days. When Town Hall 8 arrives, for example, or Town Hall 10, yes, it will probably arrive soon. Then, my friend, it can give you a 180-day limit, and you can go that far ahead. Of course, while moving forward, always find yourself a good team. Getting stronger in the game is great. Winning events is very nice, but if you don't have a team, if you can't be a part of a good team's teamwork, it doesn't mean anything at all. That is all I have to say. I am leaving the site links below. I hope the things I explained and my experiences will be useful to you, friends. Since I am a bit sick, I might have had trouble repeating sentences. I may have also repeated the same things. So please excuse me. I hope this video helps you. Take care of yourselves. I would appreciate it if you like and comment on the video. Stay well.